What do you think Charlie Golasso is going to do here?
Mírame ahora, ey, mírame ahora. Yo solamente grabo las canciones, ya se pegan solas. Quieren que me vaya mal, pero esto mejora. Ey, estaba buscando dinero rápido, perdonen la demora. Mírame ahora, ey, mírame ahora. Yo solamente grabo las canciones, ya se pegan solas.
One touch forward, shoots and scores. The game is tied at 6.
Perdonen la demora. Perdonen si me tardé en llegar. Me acuerdo cuando trabajaba legal. La entrada era lenta, por eso todo el tiempo la mente me decía vete a bregar. Que menos tú te esperes federal. Si me paran siempre voy a acelerar. Si está buena pues trae la versión. Y si la amiga quiere también se le da. Saber que tienen que hablarle.
But Charlie Gonzalez has had himself a game.
Ya mismo le pasó por el lado otra vez. Por eso es que ustedes van adelante.
It is my sincere pleasure now to welcome onto our airwaves, podcast, and YouTube the newest San Diego soccer and all MASL performer. Last year, 25 points in 10 games, and a guy that we know very well coming into Pechanga Arena wearing the red and black. Now he will wear the gold and blue. Juan Carlos Gonzalez, better known to us as Charlie Gonzalez, joining us now on Soccer's Overtime. And Juan Carlos, Craig Elsten down here in San Diego. Bienvenidos, San Diego. Welcome to our team.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, by the way.
It is our absolute pleasure. Thank you so much. All right, let's dig in. Charlie Gonzalez of San Diego Soccer. We're so used to seeing you in the Ontario Fury kit, coming down, tormenting our boys, slicing and dicing, putting a couple in the net. Tell us about the journey that has led you now to put on this crest to join the 15-time champions.
Oh, like you mentioned, I've been with Fury for, I was with them for 6 years. This first team I started with, and I've grown and I've learned, I've watched the game and I've, gave everything, to become, to be where I'm at today. And yeah, like I said, I've been there 6 years and now, I'm blessed to be playing for San Diego Soccer.
You've grown as a player year after year, Charlie. Just talk about your development, if you could, within the sport of indoor soccer. It's not an easy sport to pick up the first year in, is it?
No, it's really not. It's much different. It's much different than outdoor. You're always on the ball. You're always getting a lot of touches. You go in for a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and it's always, sprinting up and down. It's not, you never get to relax in that game. But, growing up, I would always play street soccer. So it's, it's similar, small-sided. Me and my brothers, I have 4 brothers. We would always just, every day just be outside playing. And it's really cool because I didn't know about MASL because I played at Top College and I played at Cal State San Bernardino, and I just got invited after my senior season, and I was like, this is amazing. I remember going into my first game, I was like, wow, like, this is where I want to be, but yeah, it's just a whole different game. You can't just come in thinking like I'm fit, because it's the whole different fitness level. Like, I thought I was fit playing outdoor. I come in, to training for indoor, and it's like I was tired. Like the first 15 minutes, I was like, man, how do these guys do it? But just learning, a lot of players that I've played with, teaching me the game, and going over video and looking at little details that I can work on. Just it's really helpful, and it's much different than outdoor.
Undoubtedly. One thing I've noticed in terms of your style, I've been cutting Charlie Gonzalez highlights the last week. It's one of the perks of the job, is especially over the course of the last year, how decisive you've gotten with your shot. In terms of an ability to get the shot off quickly and to be able to target, any one of the 4 corners. And I wonder, because you talk about that evolution from outdoor where you've got a lot more time to line up a shot, maybe get a full volley off, as opposed to maybe utilizing the toe poke more often or utilizing a quicker shot, what that type of adjustment is to be able to get your shot off in this sport.
It's like I said, I've I grew up playing indoor, and it's like, you don't really use that in outdoor, but coming into this game, it's like you said, you have to get that quick shot because, there's a little bit of space, defenders step to you quicker, I mean, yeah, it's really important. And I think just like I said, training, you know, and looking at video and like understanding like why, like, or when, how can I get the shot? Where should I be shooting? You know, paying attention to those little details and just training, you know, and doing drills that are actually gonna help me, you know, do that during the game. I mean, like you said, you utilize the toe poke a lot in this game, and it's really helpful. You know, a lot of people think, you know, when they start teaching you, like, don't use, you know, don't toe poke, don't toe poke. But in this game, it's like you use it often. You know.
Now, you had the opportunity in Boise just a couple of weeks back to play for the Mexican national team under Rene Ortiz, of course, one of the soccer's assistant coaches, and with a handful of San Diego Soccers. We weren't mentioning it, but you got a chance to kind of roll out there on the floor with some future teammates. What was that experience like, being out there with kids like Escoto and Pollo and Pee-wee, et cetera?
No, it's great. I mean, I've always been playing against them, you know, for the past 6 years, and you know, great players. You know, I've actually learned a lot from those guys too, just watching them play. You know, they've been in the league 6, 7, 8 years, and it was fun. It was amazing, good experience. You know, big crowd. You know, and just knowing that these are the guys that I'm going to be playing with. You know, the next couple seasons, it's exciting. You know, and I've actually been playing. You know, in the off season, there's tournaments here and there, and I actually play with a few of them. So, you know, it's not like I don't know how they play. They don't know how I play. Like, I think we're already like used to, you know, being on the field with each other. And I think it'll be fun and exciting, as you saw, you know, Mexico against USA.
Yeah, I mean, when you see, let's start with Serta. When you're playing with a kid like Serta, what does he bring to the field? When you've had to line up against him and have him try to block your shot so many times, what is it about a guy like Serta that you respect?
No, you know, he's a leader on the field. You know, he's a captain for a reason. He's always, you know, talking to you, like he's always playing, you know, behind me. So he's always telling me, you know, defensively, cover left, cover right, you know, step here, step there. He makes the game much easier, you know, and he's just a leader on the team in the huddle. You know, he always has the right thing to say, you know, motivates the players. And, you know, on top of that, he's just a great player, as you saw. You know, there was a play that I had a bad touch and he was actually there to win it back. And, you know, that's why we gotta go off of that, you know. So I mean, no, just, you know, he's an amazing player, and like I said, he's a leader on the field.
Yeah, the midfield's going to be crowded in San Diego, won't it?
Yeah. Yeah, great players. I mean, you got Pee-wee, you got, you know, Churras, you have Boyo, you know, all those guys. It's gonna be fun.
Along those lines, you're a guy who in Ontario generally was the number one to be on the ball in terms of touches. What do you think about integrating into a game and onto a team where, look, I mean, a lot of people are going to score, the ball's going to get fed, there's a lot of mouths to feed, so to speak, and really it's about, at the end of the day, winning.
Yeah, no, and I agree. You know, I believe it all starts in practice, and whoever, you know, is doing great on the ball and can lead like the power plays, or, you know, all of that, set pieces, and, you know, whoever the coaches think is the person indicated to be there, you know, it's on them. Obviously, you know, like I've been doing it with fear, you know. I love being on the ball. You know, it'll be a challenge, you know, and I just believe whoever, you know, is doing best on the ball, then, you know, it's just a challenge. It's a fun challenge, and I think it's gonna be exciting just to, you know, to be on the same side as these guys now instead of being on the other team.
Absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
speaking of that other team, obviously things didn't end the way that you wanted to, or that the Fury wanted to, in Ontario, and they took you out of the lineup for game 2 of the finals. This is one of those stories that in the MASL circles, everyone has probably heard 3 versions of what's happened, you know, down at Toyota Arena. And I'd like to hear the Juan Carlos Gonzalez version, in terms of from your own lips, what happened, how things fell bad in Ontario.
You know, it just a lot of things led up to that game that, you know, which is why that happened. You know, I'm a player that, you know, gets really pumped up to play. You know, maybe off the field, I may be quiet, but once I'm on the field, you know, like I express myself, you know, and all I do is I just want to win. And I've been with the Fury, you know, I was with the Fury for 6 years, and, you know, I gave it my all, you know, I wanted to, you know, championship. I wanted, to be the best, my team to win games and make it to the championship game. And, just a lot of things happen. And leading up to the final, I mean, I was asked, by players, like if I wasn't happy after a game that we just lost, to if I wanted to go to a different team, that they would take me there, and it just caught me off guard because why is it that the locker room is locked, the coaches are outside, and like some players approach you and ask you, like, are you not happy here? Like, like telling you that they talk to some of the teammates about me. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's good to treat a player that's been with the team for so long, and talk behind his back and want to get him off the team. Just little details like that. I told some of the guys, hey, if you don't want me to play playoffs, like, I'll step off. Like if you think you guys will do better without me, like, I'll step off. And people were saying it was an issue of me, like I don't get the ball and I would raise my hands up, and it was just something crazy. I've played, I played college. I've had, coaches that, are straight up with me. I'm not gonna, if it's a really important game, I'm not gonna say things in the happiest ways to a teammate, to step to a ball or make sure they don't get beat defensively, or if someone's open, make sure instead of just shooting, if someone's open, playing the ball, little details like that, which, at a professional level for indoor, I mean, you watch a lot of players, you've seen people yell at each other and on the field, and, it's just something that you do on the field as teammates, it happens on the field, off the field, you let it go. And then it just, it just helps you as a team. And a lot of guys didn't like that. And, I posted something saying that I was off because I was being mean to my players. And I just think that's like ridiculous. I've had many teammates, be straight up with me, and I like that, because I'd rather have my teammate be honest with me about something than telling me in a nice way and not being honest with me, and I just feel that's the championship mentality. I've never seen a championship team, not be frustrated on the field and just be happy all the time. I mean, I want to win, everyone should be wanting to win, but yeah, I mean, just little details like that. And I mean, there was rumors going on that before, the finals, that I had already signed with San Diego, and I was just like, why are these rumors going on in the locker room when we're playing San Diego in the final, and people are saying that before we're final? And I'm worried about winning the championship, and I'm worried about the team being ready, and because we've never been in the final before, and
Right.
it's crazy to me how obviously you show up to a game, you have to dress nice. I go to the mall, I buy a shirt that I like, it happens to be blue. It was a blue Nike shirt. I show up and, some of my teammates are like, oh, like you're wearing your other team's colors now. It's just like, I don't understand that. And I'm never going to understand that. But I think that moment, I just knew, like, man, like this game's not going to go because our mentality isn't there. Players aren't focused, talking about things that shouldn't matter, that don't matter before a final. Yeah, like you said, I got pretty much fired from the team the day before the second final, and it was just, I don't know, it's just crazy to me. I mean, for me, I gave it all to my team, and for them to do that to me, I think it was a bit disrespectful. But it is what it is, and whatever is meant to be is meant to be. And I'm happy with how things turned out.
So I'm glad you brought it up, because it's definitely one of the things that's been circulating, is that it was said in the locker room that Charlie Gonzalez was ticketed to the Sockers, that he was signed, sealed, and delivered. And here we are on Soccer's Overtime introducing you as a Socker. So that's why I really wanted to make sure that we kind of cleared this road, because you had not, and I'll put it to you directly, had you signed or made a verbal agreement with the Sockers at any point prior to the MASL finals?
No, never. I never spoke with anyone, with none of the coaches, the owner. Obviously I have friends on the team. I mean, I think I'm able to talk to my friends if I have friends on the other team, and I don't know, maybe people took it the wrong way, and I mean, I don't want to say too much either, because I don't like, saying too many things, but I did get another offer from the Fury to sign for 3 more years, and we had agreed on something, and it wasn't what we had agreed. So I kind of wanted to wait a little bit until after playoffs, but I was kind of like being pressured to sign before playoffs, and I was just like, hey, like no, like I don't want this to bother me. I want to focus first, win, and then we'll talk about it. And I think that's when the rumors started going around that I didn't sign because I wanted to go somewhere else, and it was just I don't understand. But like I said, and there was a little conflict in the locker room too. My brother was released from the team as well, where he had nothing to do with anything, and maybe it was just something against me and him. I don't understand why he would be released from the team. It wasn't, and I believe that something was said that he was the one that wanted to leave the team because they got rid of me, but that was never true. He wanted to play the final, and they just told him, hey, you're off the team. No explanation why, and that was it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, here we are. Obviously, that's a bitter ending to a guy who's the all-time Ontario Fury points getter, and someone who's put 6 years behind that club and on that stage, right? I mean, this is what the Fury had fought to get to since the beginning of the franchise and against San Diego as well. Needless to say, the Sockers and Fury still stand in one another's path. And will continue to do so. Ontario is still a great team and would probably be considered, the co-favorite with San Diego to come out of the West. So how much do you anticipate Sockers Fury when it comes down the road this year?
I mean, I'm not a type of guy to have like anything against no one. Like I had friends on the team, but it is going to be a good game. They have great players, and I think it's going to be a really exciting day when we do face them. I mean, obviously always playing as a home player, now it's going to be a little bit different, but it's I always like to give it my all and represent whichever team I'm playing for. Now I'm now with San Diego Sockers, and just know that I'm going to do my best. I'm always going to work hard, and just to get that win for the team.
All right, couple last things before we let you go. You mentioned 4 brothers. Tell me about your family, where you grew up, how you got into soccer at the beginning.
So I was actually born in Mexico, in Jalisco. I came to the U.S. With my family when I was about a year. I was almost going to be 2, and we grew up in Wilmington. It's in the LA area. We grew up in Wilmington, and like I said, I'm the youngest of my 4 brothers. I have a younger sister. She doesn't play, but she loves to come watch. But yeah, I have Jose, who was with the Fury as well, and then Christian, Salvador, and Jonathan. They're all older than me, and yeah, we grew up in Wilmington, just playing in the streets. We would get the trash cans, kind of just flip them over. That was the goal. 2-on-2, 3-on-3, 1v1s. I was living in Wilmington up until I was, I believe I want to say I was 10 years old, and I moved up to Lancaster, up in the desert, middle of nowhere, whole different city. I was there until I was 17. After that, I went to Taft College for 2 years. I played 2 years there under Coach Angelo, and then I went to Cal State San Bernardino, and I finished off my 2 years, and then I stayed next year to finish off my credentials, and then after that, that's when I started playing for the Fury, playing indoor.
How did you get the nickname Charlie?
It's crazy. I always ask my mom, and she's like, well, how they say, because my name is Juan Carlos, and she always says Carlos, in English is Charlie. So I always ask my mom, hey, so why do they call me Charlie? She's like, I don't know. I just heard people say Charlie because of Carlos, and it just stuck, and they started calling me Charlie ever since I was little. And from there, and it's kind of weird when I hear someone call me Juan Carlos, because I never go by Juan Carlos. I'm always going by Charlie. But it's just funny because my mom, she's like, I don't know, like I know Carlos is Charlie in English, so. That's
So
how
when
I
you-
got the nickname.
So when you hear Juan Carlos, is that like, when mom called, you're in trouble now? If you hear Juan Carlos, you get over here right this
I
minute.
know I'm in trouble. Yeah.
All right, I got one more for you. When you
Okay.
score a goal, you're, as you mentioned, I've been going through highlights. You're a very intense player on the field. You're not a necessarily super demonstrative guy. Occasionally, really big goals, like really big moments, but you do have a goal celebration, and it's always confused me. You do this thing with your hand, and you kind of like reverse it. And so, what is that? Tell me what that's all about.
It's just something that me and my girlfriend just do all the time on the phone, and she was like, "Hey, like, what if you do this?" I was like, "I'll try it, see how it looks on TV, and then if it sticks, it sticks." So I've been doing that. Something that me and her have going on.
All right, so it's a call out to the girlfriend. That's perfect.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Awesome. Well, Charlie, it is great to have you as a member of the San Diego Sockers. I know
Thank
Sockers fans will be very excited to see you come out this winter to the floor at Pechanga Arena, San Diego, show everybody what you can do. And look, we kind of already know because we've watched you for 6 years. We've watched you torment us on the other side of the floor. So it's going to be super exciting to have you as a member of our family here with the San Diego Sockers. Can't wait to see that crest on your chest. And thank you so much for being gracious with your time here. We are recording this over a holiday weekend. I thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me on your podcast. Appreciate it.